You subscribe to the YouTube channel, Titans and Truth, and also on the Facebook pages, which I'll be explaining in just a bit. So we're going to get ready to go live on this sports podcast, Titans and Truth. I'm glad everybody is here, and I hope everybody is having a good time. And we are going to get this show started in less than 60 seconds. Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation and sports fans everywhere. Welcome in to another edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a great show on this evening, and we are going to be talking a lot of Tennessee Titans as training camp has kept going. We're through 6 days of practice. We're into week 2, and for those of you who are new to the show, welcome into Titans and Truth as we talk all things Tennessee Titans. We also talk about what's going on around the NFL, and we also talk about things that we're going to be talking about things very soon going on in Tennessee sports as well. So definitely want to make sure that y'all tune in and have a good time, and definitely make sure that you do indeed share this show out and share it out to everybody under the sound of my voice, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or on Facebook. And make sure you hit that like button as well. And for everybody out there, I just thank everybody for tuning into the show and everything, but also have a new announcement to announce to you, as well as we're going to have some new guests coming on, and that is we are now live. We're going to be live now on Spotify. We're going to be live on Apple Podcasts and on iHeartRadio as well. So, definitely subscribe and download the Titans of Truth show as I keep bringing new episodes wherever you get your podcast as well. So definitely stay tuned for all of those episodes as more shows continue to happen. And also remember, we're going to be having the Truth League report coming soon on Mondays when the season begins, where we'll recap all of the games that have happened. Also, any news that comes out of the NFL. I'll probably go live at some point with any new news that come out of the NFL, which we did have some news today. So stay tuned for that, as well as Down to the T is going to be coming soon, as again, we're going to be talking a lot of sports, talking about the Tennessee Vols, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Memphis Tigers. If you're into hockey, the Nashville Predators. We'll definitely try to start diving into that as well. So definitely stay tuned for all of your content that's coming here on the Truth Sports Podcast channel, and I guarantee you will not regret it. So thank everybody for tuning in, and welcome everybody in the podcast world, whether you're listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple Podcasts. We welcome you in as well. This is just a sports podcast community. Don't be afraid to come on in as we talk some sports and things like that. So come on in. We'll be glad to have you as well. And we are going to have a very, very good time. And we have some people in here now. We got Orlastruck says, nothing better than pads week. And I definitely agree with that. It's always good to have some click-clack going on. well, with the pads on. So that is always really, really cool. So I got 615 podcast in here. We got DO9, what's going on? We got Steven, AZ Mick. We got Lee 615, Sid City Titan. Says, been a while since I caught your stream. Usually at work. Look forward to the see. Well, Sid City, you will have many other ways to catch. If you are at work, you can always catch up on whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. You can catch up on any of those outlets. So I guarantee you, you ain't going to miss a thing. Zach Carpenter says, tighten up. And let's see, talking about the O-line, and we're definitely going to get into that. So let's go ahead and get started on what we got going on. And also, Ladies' Night is going to be returning September 7th. So that'll be the first Wednesday in November, in September, we will have the return of a ladies' night. So definitely get it tuned for that. Make sure y'all pass that out to all of your female sports fans so that they can come on in and enjoy it as well. So again, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel on YouTube under Titans and Truth. Of course, the name change will happen at some point where it changes to the Truth Sports Podcast, but it's still going to be the absolute same. Nothing is going to change except the name. But y'all go ahead and subscribe to that and hit that bell and hit that little bell right there. I'm trying to point to it. There it is. Hit that little bell right there and put it on all so you get all of the content as I go live. And also smash that like button while you're at it. Definitely help me out and help you out as well. And remember, super chats are also appreciated as well. Any donations that are given, I do appreciate that very, very much indeed. But let's get into this training camp that the Tennessee Titans are having. The pads are on. We are 7 days away from the first preseason game, and I am excited about that. Getting to see some of the new, players in and see how they do. And so I am definitely very, very excited about this team and seeing where they're going. I'm more excited than I was about a month ago. And so the Tennessee Titans put on the pads this week. And they were off today, but they did padded practices on Monday and Tuesday. And for the last couple of days, including Saturday, the defense has won the day. But on Tuesday, the offense was the side that really won the day as well. And so, the offense is really starting to kind of click together because, you're seeing Treylon Burks continue to put nice days together, and you're not hearing anything about him being winded or the asthma being an issue or any of the conditioning problems he was having beforehand. Ryan Tannehill has yet to throw an interception in practice so far. He has yet to do so. So that's some good things that's going on right there. Because remember, Tannehill has to prove it. He needs to prove it to me. He needs to prove it to us that he can be the guy that takes us to that next level. Also, you got to give some credit. Kyle Phillips has been getting some reps with the ones in the slot as well. Robert Woods and also Caleb Farley are looking like they are, pretty much close to full go and everything. So they're looking much, much healthier and everything. And so I really like what they're doing as well. And Derrick Henry, he's not going to be doing much right now because he's basically getting ready for the regular season. I haven't really heard anything about Hassan Haskins lately or Dontrell Hilliard. I've heard a little bit, but not much as far as I'm concerned with that. But also, I've been hearing a lot about the tight ends. I mean, Austin Hooper has been doing some good things. Chig has done extremely well, which leads to my next point. Burks, McCreary, and the other draft picks are getting a whole lot of praise right now. They are really hitting their stride and doing things very, very well. And I mean, Burks and McCreary have been going up against each other, even going back to Arkansas versus Auburn, and they have both been saying, hey, it's iron sharpens iron. They're both trying to make each other better, and I do like that competition. I mean, McCreary is getting a lot of hype. A lot of hype so far. And with Elijah Molden down due to injury, an apparent leg injury, we don't know exactly what it is. He's been out the last couple of days. Roger McCreary, our second round pick, has been getting a lot of reps in the slot and has been doing very, very well. And Mike Vrabel and others have really praised him a lot. And Shane Bowen has even said, this guy is not acting like a rookie. He's acting like he's been here before. And that is something that is extremely encouraging. And also, that is something that bodes very well going into the season, especially if Molden has to be down for a little bit. Then you have Farley, McCreary, and you have Christian Fulton, which I am perfectly fine with. So that's some things I have definitely noticed. Now, Cincinnati Titan mentioned the offensive line, and that is a good question because, as we've spoken on before, we know Taylor Lewan is going to be at left tackle. We know that Ben Jones is going to be at center, and we know that Nate Davis is going to be at right guard. But the question is, who's going to be left at right tackle and left guard? That's the main question that has to be answered. And that's something that we are going to definitely try to find out, is who's going to be that starter in the middle next to Taylor Lewan and Ben Jones, and also on the other side of Nate Davis. Right now, it is Aaron Brewer at Dylan Radunz's spots to lose right now. It is their spots to lose. And so we're definitely going to find out if they are going to be able to hold up, or if Jamarco Jones or maybe Nicholas Petit-Ferrer can step up and take those spots from them. And again, to Cincinnati Titans' point, I haven't really heard anything about Nicholas Petit-Ferrer as far as I'm concerned. I have heard some things about Dylan Radunz looking more mature, looking better physically, and looks like he's honing in on that right tackle spot. Jamarco Jones and Taylor Lewan kind of got into it before practice on Tuesday. Don't know exactly why those two got into it, but I'm thinking, hey, you guys are on the same side of the line. Why are you throwing bows at each other and stuff like that? So there was a little bit of scrappiness on the field on Tuesday. Jamarco Jones got kicked out of practice for a little bit and then was brought back. But those type of things, we need to iron them out now, because we don't need that going into the regular season. Let's see. 615 Podcast says the only good problem a team can have is an abundance of playmakers, but teams keep those that show up in games. That is much I agree. Mark Jones says Traylon Burks, tighten up. Traylon Burks and Chig looking like vets. I think this draft class is going to be a great one. And, right now, so far so good. Paulie D, what's going on with you? And Mark Jones is hoping that Tannehill has his best year as a Titan. We're definitely going to see about that. Consistency is key. That much is true. And this wide receiver group might be better. Steven responded to 615, said, Jinx and Tannehill is all part of truth's test. Yes, it is. As much as a lot of people have known me, and if you're new to the show, after the Super Bowl, I had Miss Haley Thornhill on the show, and we were talking about Tannehill. And I made a bet. I said that if Tannehill wins us the Super Bowl, I will wear Ryan Tannehill gear for the show, for the Super Bowl celebration. So, Tannehill better maybe eat my words, because, again, I don't believe in him just yet, but maybe he can. So, Reggie B, I know you out at the airport doing your job down there in H-Town. I might be down there next July, so I'm going to be looking for you down in Texas. So, get up with me. D09 says, I'm tired of the excuses. I know that's right. It's no more excuses now. And Power Hour, what's up, man? I'm definitely going to be talking to you. Randy Bullock looks good kicking. Hope that consistency roll. And I've been hearing Bullock has been perfect so far. I believe in practice, I believe he's only missed one field goal in the last few days. So that's pretty good for Randy Bullock. So hopefully he keeps that up. Jameson, what's up? Welcome in. But offensively, some things are starting to come along. And that is a very, very good thing. Defensively, yes. Now, the question is, okay, the offense has such a good day. What's going on with the defense then? And I will probably say the answer is nothing. I mean, you're going to have practices where the offense is just better than the defense, but you're also going to have days where the defense is better than the offense. So that is, something that that's where that consistency has to come in. You got to be able. Sometimes you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, but I believe Todd Downing was saying this about Malik Willis, saying, hey, it's okay to make a mistake, just don't come in and make the same one again. Make new mistakes. And Malik was talking about that with the media, talking about how, he's processing things mentally, but he's trying to get his feet to kind of catch up and process with what the mind is doing, because a lot of times when you're throwing the ball, your feet is a big part of that. If your feet are not set, as we've said all the time, you can't be throwing off of your back foot, because if you do that, balls can sail, it can lead to interceptions, it can lead to piss poor throws, and we don't want that. So, that is something that we have to keep going with. Defensively, again, I think the pass rush is going to be just fine as always. Zach Cunningham and David Long, I like both of them inside. The secondary has been looking pretty good, with Farley looking healthy, Christian Fulton looking like himself, but the offense is starting to come along, and I definitely do agree with that. So my question to all of y'all is, and leave comments on this, what are your impressions of training camp so far? What do y'all think? Do you like what the Titans have done? Are they doing really well, or is there something that they can improve on? Where can they improve, if anything, going into the first preseason game next week? And while you guys are getting some comments together, I'm going to definitely let y'all know. I'm definitely going to let y'all know about my friend, Mr. Cody Milhoyne of First Class Real Estate Advisors. And as I've said, he's a Titan fan. He's a friend of the show. He's very huge on integrity, and that's what he's built his real estate business on. And he will offer you many options and discuss the pros and cons of every option of retail, whether you're selling your home or you're buying a home, whether it's a $10,000 trailer or a $20 million mansion. He understands the real estate investment is one of the biggest investments that you will ever make in your life. It doesn't matter if you live here here in Tennessee, or if you live anywhere between North or South Carolina and California. If you want some advice on real estate, give him a call at 731-798-8505, or you can call his office at 731-207-8060. Ask for Cody and let him know that let him know that Blue Enforcer The Truth sent you. And also, if you want to email him, you can email him at CodyM@firstclassre, that's number 1ST, firstclassre.com as well for all of your real estate needs. We're right here, back here on Titans and Truth tonight. And again, I'm liking what I'm seeing. With the receivers, I think they're an underrated unit. Racey McMath had a really good day yesterday, so maybe he does have a chance of making the team, and at least for what he can do on special teams. I haven't really heard much about Reggie Robinson or Josh Malone, the guy who has been the fan darling as of late, but I haven't really heard much about him. I've really been hearing about Woods, Burks, Phillips, Nick Westbrook-Akina, Racey McMath is coming to play. Haven't really heard a lot from Des Fitzpatrick either. So that's something that's going to be, definitely important. So let's see. I'm going to try to get some of y'all comments. Let's see. "615 Podcast says Jamarco Jones left guard, Dylan Radunz right tackle. I think Aaron Brewer has the inside track to that. We'll definitely see how Jamarco Jones does. There's definitely playmakers. I don't know if NWI is a playmaker just yet. We're definitely going to find out if he is that playmaker. Yeah, definitely. Mike Vrabel basically said Aaron Brewer is tougher than a $2 steak. That was a great quote. That was definitely a great quote. Bullet 22 of 25 on field goals. Definitely gonna hear about that. Paulie D, I saw that. I don't know how true that is. I think that was something fake. I think that was something fake that came out. So I haven't seen anything that says he actually is hurt. So right now, as from what I've heard, Julio Jones is fine in Tampa. That was fake news. James says, I truly hope you have to eat your words on Ryan Tannehill, but I totally understand where you're coming from. Hey, I will be happy to eat my words. I will be very happy to eat my words on Tannehill if he does his job. Be very happy to do that. Xavier, my guy X-Man comes in. Do you rely on Tannehill to get further in the playoff this year? There are going to be times he's going to have to put the game on his back. He's going to have to put the team on his back at some point. And I got to see it happen in the regular season without the turnovers. And that's something else that Todd Downing has talked about. Commitment to protecting the football. Committing to not turning the football over. Because if you don't turn the football over, you tend to win a lot more games. You tend to win a lot more games that way. D09. So I would say X, Tannehill is going to have to step up more, especially in the playoffs with teams trying to pillar down on Derrick Henry, which D09 mentions that nobody is scared of Tannehill. All the defense will do is attack Henry. Now, King Henry has had a lot of success against 8-man boxes, so I don't think stacking the box against Derrick Henry really does that much to stop him. But again, Tannehill is going to have to help with that. So It's going to be important. Paulie D says, I love what I see on the offense. It's a fresh start. We have a mix of veterans and rookies. We still got the king in the backfield. That's true. But I'm wondering who the backup is going to be. That is going to be an interesting question. And Mark Jones says your lead foot leads the ball in the direction you want the ball to go in. And that is a very good point right there, Mark, in regards to footwork with the quarterback. Because if you throw it with your front foot, you're leading the ball where you want it to go. If you throw it off the back foot, you're not leading it where it wants to go. And again, that leads to more problems. It leads to either overshooting your receiver or it leads to the ball sailing, and that leads to turnovers. Cormar Jones says, AJ who? And I have a late shut your pie hole moment because of that. So far they should change their name to the Tennessee Phoenix. I don't know what you mean by that, Steven. Kind of elaborate for me. I suggest y'all get the number 2 seed in the playoffs. Number 1 is a curse. Well, it was a curse last year. That much is true. I do agree with that. Miss Mims, I'm glad you're here. Welcome in, and yep, it's almost game time. That much I agree. And I know a lot of y'all are excited. We gonna see if Mason Kinsey makes this roster. So I'm not sure if he will make the roster. He's got a long way to go. Ms. Mims said, when Lady Night start back again? September 7th. The first Wednesday in September. We will definitely have some lady guests on the show. I'm definitely trying to see who I could get because I know the season's pretty busy and we're definitely going to work some things out. Let's see. I mean, NWI, is definitely trying to come up and things like that. We're definitely going to see what he could do with that. Young secondary has a lot of dogs in him. That's true. Bar Jones says Tampa Bay. Talking about the news about the Miami Dolphins, and we will definitely get to that. Let's see. If Mason Kinsey makes the roster, it means our wide receiver room is trash. From Diego Naranjo. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it means it's trash. It just means, well, Mason Kinsey maybe does something on punt return because, or kickoff return. So that might be where Mason Kinsey makes this team. Ian says, even though I've been down on RT17 this offseason, he's having a pretty good camp so far. We shall see. I agree. Let's see. X-Man says 12-4 division champs, number 2 or 3 seed. I hope so. AT says we need to run a balanced offense. I agree. Let's see. Power Hour. Yeah, that was funny. Malik Willis versus Jeffrey Simmons one-on-one drill. That was funny. I was laughing my tail off with that. Indeed, that was extremely funny. So I definitely was cool with that. But some other, so training camp is going good. They'll be back at practice tomorrow, getting ready. And then next week, I believe it's August the 10th. That is when they will play. The Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and that is actually a week from now. So actually, a week from today, they will be in action in Baltimore against the Ravens for the first preseason game of the season. And so we're definitely going to get to see what these guys do. I'm sorry, not August 10th, August 11th. They travel to Baltimore August 10th. So it's August 11th, next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. That is when they will play the Baltimore Ravens. So, Ms. Mims, I stand corrected. On that. So MK Ultra is going to make the 53-man roster. We're definitely going to find out when it comes to that. But there's been a lot of good things talked about with this team. I mean, Austin Hooper has been very complimentary of Chig and what he has done. And, Malik Willis is definitely trying to, get his footwork together, processing and things like that. And I'm just glad I get to see some pads clacking a little bit. Now, some other news that have happened around the AFC South. Chester Rogers got signed by the Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans also bring in offensive lineman Willie Wright. They also put Daniel Munyer, the center, on injured reserve. And Chris Williamson, a defensive back, got cut. So, those are a couple of moves that was definitely made there. But Titans of Truth, we're going to keep going here, and we're going to talk some other news that has been happening around the NFL. And Zach, you're right. Tannehill's fate will be decided this season. I definitely agree. So that is something that's true. And y'all check out 615 Podcast. I know he's been doing some great work as well. He's going to have former Titan safety Donnie Nicky on the show. So definitely go check that out. Also check out Mr. Titan. He just had Dr. Kevin Dyson on the show, who actually follows me. So I definitely appreciate KD, for following me and stuff like that. So that is something that we're definitely going to be seeing in the future. So y'all definitely support other podcasts, the 615 Podcast, Tighten Up Low, Mr. Titan, K Moore Sports for Ken Moore. Definitely support the Power Hour, Titans Time podcast as well. So y'all definitely keep up with that. So in other news that's been going on around the NFL, first off, you did hear the news with Miami. They had to forfeit they're forfeiting, I believe, their first round draft pick next year and a third round pick in 2024 because they are basically guilty of tampering. They were tampering with Tom Brady when he was a member of the New England Patriots, trying to get him to come to Miami as a member of the Miami Dolphins. And then they also did it again when he was with Tampa Bay and he was trying to retire and stuff. They were trying to bring him in not only to be the quarterback of their team, but also promising them that he would have a spot in their front office and things like that. I know I don't have 100% of the facts correct, but I know that Miami had to forfeit their 2023 first round draft pick and also a 2024 third round draft pick. They basically said that Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, was in violation of the league's anti-tampering policy when he was trying to, get Tom Brady and former head coach Sean Payton to come to Miami. And also, the Dolphins owner is suspended, but I believe through mid-October. So that means he cannot be on the practice facility premises. He cannot attend any Miami games or attend any league meetings until late October because of this. So pretty hefty fine there, if you ask me. And I believe he was also fined $1.5 million, which I know for most owners, that's chump change, honestly enough. And also some other news that has been going on as well is with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was originally suspended 6 games for violating the rules against the NFL as well, with all of those suits with the 24 women that said that he sexually assaulted them and things like that. And an independent arbitrator, former federal judge Sue Johnson, basically ruled that Deshaun Watson should be suspended 6 games. And this is something they put in this arbitrator, they put in this person for legal purposes. This was between the NFL and the NFLPA, and they agreed to have an independent legal arbitrator come in and investigate Deshaun Watson. And she said, based on her findings, that's why she decided that it should be a 6-game suspension. Now, that came down on Monday. To decide if they were going to appeal this. And, of course, today comes to find out the NFL, of course, is going to appeal the decision. And that is the real breaking news. No surprise there. They are going to appeal that decision. And now, basically, it is in the hands of Roger Goodell. He gets to appoint somebody to hear their appeal. Now, the only thing is they cannot bring in any new evidence. They can only go by the information that is already there and make a determination. The NFL, already wanted to try to suspend Deshaun Watson for at least a year. And they could try to go after that because Roger Goodell basically has the final say in what's happening in this situation. So I thought the suspension would be a year, given with everything that's been said. 6 games, 6 to 8 games might be a pretty fair, assessment. I mean, I would have probably said 8 games, but, 6, is what I believe is the minimum. But it looks like the league could try to go for more. So we're definitely going to find out what the NFL says. And now the NFLPA has 2 days to respond to this appeal at some point. So I definitely expect this to possibly drag all through the preseason, and it may even get into the regular season as well. And Power Hour mentioning the real victim is Brian Flores. Ross seemed to do everything he could to make his job even more complicated. And none of that suspension from the Dolphins had anything to do with Brian Flores' case, which, thanks to Mike Mularkey, put our name in this. So that is something that we're definitely going to have to be careful of and definitely have to watch out for. Scar-nosed rat bags and succaneers. Yeah, Ms. Mims definitely put that in there. That we cannot take that out at all. So 615 says Calvin Austin, Memphis looking good in Pittsburgh. He has been looking good. He's definitely been looking good at all. Definitely so. A lot of people have a lot to say about this. I know there are some people that think this is fair. 6 games. Some people think it was too light. I honestly thought it was going to be a year. I really did. And so the fact that it was 6 games, that's definitely what it is. And, yep, Goodell is probably going to want it to be longer. I agree. He's definitely going to want it to be longer. So, right now, and Al, this is the question. Right now, the suspension is 6 games. As of now, until the appeal is complete. And once Goodell makes the decision, that is the final decision. So right now, Deshaun Watson, 6-game suspension right now. All right. But we're going to get ready to wrap up the show. First off, a shut your pie hole moment, because I didn't do one last month to end July. And my shut your pie hole moment has to go to one Arthur Juan Brown, former Tennessee Titans receiver, because, of course, in the news, we know Deebo Samuel got a new deal. I believe it was 3 years, $72 million. So he got a new deal with the San Francisco 49ers. And, of course, AJ had tweeted out saying, well, everybody got paid, but I was the one that got traded. I was the one that got traded, though. So A.J. Brown going on social media still salty about the Tennessee Titans trading him. Now, I've been saying it. I think trading A.J. Brown was the biggest mistake the Tennessee Titans have made. But at the same time, A.J., it's over and done with. Shut your pie hole. Play for the Eagles. You'll get shut down by us when we play you. And just go try to have a good season in Philly. I still like you. Even though there's a lot of other fans that don't. I still like you. But shut your pie hole and quit complaining. It's over. It's done. Can't do nothing about it anymore. You forced the Titans' hand. And now you want to complain when everybody else get paid and stay with their team, but you got traded. If you had shut your mouth, you might still be a Titan today. So, AJ, shut your pie hole. And then last but not least, we had some sad news come through as the famous voice of the LA Dodgers, Vin Scully, passed away. Passed away at the age of 94. He was the famous broadcaster for the LA Dodgers, and he caused some of the great memories anywhere between Jackie Robinson all the way up to Clayton Kershaw, the Kirk Gibson home run that won the Dodgers the World Series. He's called a lot of that. So rest in peace to Vin Scully, a famous broadcaster. He will definitely be missed in the sports world. And so finally, everybody, I just want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in to this show. Bart Jones said Tennessee sports are all on the rise. Titans, Vols, Grizz. Great time to be a Tennessee fan. And remember, those shows are coming. Again, Down to the T going to be coming soon. And also, the Truth League Report is going to be coming soon as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. Also remember, this show is on all the podcast channels, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. They are all going to be there. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that bell and that subscribe button, and smash that like button as well to make sure you get all of the content that does come out. And I see a lot of people say, "Look, stop your crying, you big baby." And yes, I forgot about that. Rest in peace to a great NBA player, Bill Russell. 11 championships in the NBA. I forgot about that. Rest in peace to Bill Russell. He died at the age of 88. Probably, besides Michael Jordan, the best African-American basketball player of all time. 11 titles. Also, rest in peace to the beautiful, the gorgeous Miss Nichelle Nichols, a.k.a. Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek. I was a Trekkie. I am going to miss that beautiful woman. She was one of the reasons I watched Star Trek. Her and Captain Kirk. That was some of the reasons. So, everybody say he needs to shut up. I definitely agree with that. But everybody, that's going to just about do it for tonight's show. Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning into the show. Let me know what y'all think of the show out there. If you're listening on any of the podcast networks, let me know what you think. Again, coming up next week, we will definitely preview the preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens. What do we expect to happen? What do we expect to see in this game? And then we will definitely talk about it very much so. So we'll definitely preview the Baltimore Ravens. So thank y'all for tuning in. And y'all have a very good rest of the night. And tighten up, because that's all we know how to do.